Welcome again to Conference Happenings. On this segment, I would like to have Lynn McDowell, the Director of Planned Giving and Trust Services and Philanthropy, back with me to talk about something else that she does. Now, thank you for being with me once again. This time, we want to talk a little bit about gifts of shares. Now, that's a new thing to me, so I want you to explain it to me, and maybe everybody else listening will gather some good things from it too. What is a gift of share?
Well, gift of shares is one of the tax planning strategies that helps you to give more than you maybe think you can. What Revenue Canada has done just a few nice things for us, and this is one of them. If you have shares, sometimes, like I inherited a few shares from my mom.
Now, what's a share?
A share is, well, if, oil companies, people own a piece of that company through a share.
Okay.
And, they get dividends sometimes. There's different kinds of shares. And they have a cash value. And a lot of times they go up, sometimes they go down. But when they go up, Revenue Canada thinks that's a capital gain, and you should pay money for it. When you sell it, if you sell that share and there's an appreciation, you have to pay a portion of that to Revenue Canada. If you give it to the church, Revenue Canada says, okay, you can get a tax receipt for the full cash value, and they pay no tax.
It's so like if you gave tithe, it's a charitable donation.
Right.
So this would be sort of the same.
Yes, only it doesn't cost you anything. You give what you would have given to Revenue Canada to the church, plus you get, that charitable donation receipt for the full amount. So
does this happen yearly?
Well, you have to decide to give the shares.
Okay.
Yes. And so there's a little bit of a process. And it's been very good, a good way for more than one person in this conference to help build churches.
Is that right?
There is more than one church in this conference where people have contributed shares and in that way help to build a new church.
So if I belonged to a certain church and I wanted that money to go to that certain church, is it designated for that, or does it just go into the conference and it's designated for church buildings?
You can do whatever you want. If you want it to go specifically to, say, the Camrose Church, you can designate that and the conference will honor that.
Oh, is this new?
No, it's been around for a long time. But, not everybody has shares. But for those people who do and want to give in a tax-calculated kind of benefit way, this is a really good deal.
And that's why it's called a gift of shares.
Gift of shares. Now, if you sell those shares and give the money to the church, you're still going to pay the capital gain.
Oh.
You will get the tax receipt, but you're going to pay tax on the capital gain.
Are you going to talk about this at camp meeting at all to anybody that comes and asks you? I mean, is it going to have to be make an appointment with Lynn so I can talk about this? Or is there that possibility that they can do that? Because I know you're busy at camp meeting with wills and those kinds of things. So I'm just wondering if there's a time that somebody that really wants to know about this can contact you and do this, camp meeting or otherwise.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have, Rupa is taking care of a lot of the wills so that I can have the time to talk to people about these different possible strategies and even like annuities, do calculations for them at camp meeting so that they can have a one-on-one consultation and see what it would look like for them.
Well, this is an interesting concept to me. I don't know if I have any shares in my life, but for people that do, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Well, it does, and what's really interesting is how happy people have been with what they've done. And I actually asked one couple to share their experience, and they were willing to do so.
So we'll see that.
Oh,
we don't know what you do at the office because you do go a lot to people's visits and things to people. So you come and go, but you're there. And you're either writing or you're doing something for one of the projects that you do, like the Meskwachis Community Center. So you're always busy. So this is a different side that I haven't really heard of before. So it is, hopefully it's something of interest to people that are listening online or even at camp meeting when they see this, because it is something that most of us maybe haven't thought about. Maybe the people that are younger, and maybe, I don't know, it just seems like it's new.
Well, it's been around for a while, but we also will have a table in the resource tent.
Oh, good.
So there'll be information about some of the different strategies, and I'm always open to questions. Mm-hmm. If I'm walking down on the sidewalk, stop me, flag me down, and we can either deal with it on the spot or we can make it an appointment and talk more in depth.
Do you go out to churches to do some of this work, like for a workshop or anything? Do you go out to churches who are interested in letting their parishioners know?
I have, yes, actually, and I enjoy doing it. COVID changed a lot of the way things work, I think we're still recovering from that in many ways.
Yeah, but you're willing to do that. Like if one of the churches said, Lynn would like you to come and do a seminar on a Sabbath afternoon or a Wednesday night or whatever, you would be willing to do that so that people can be informed?
Yeah, it's all about information and helping people understand what's good for them and what's good for God's work. Perfect.
Thank you again for being with me to share this and give me a little more information, and also that we can listen to the couple that are going to share their story.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And we hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope you've gotten something out of it. And make sure to look Lynn up either in the resource tent, wherever they are doing their wills. And she's always around on campus too during camp meetings. So she's always in the office or can be got in touch with by phone. She's very accessible. Thank you again for being with me.
My pleasure.
I'm Leslie Price, and this is my husband, Don, and we're from Whitecourt, Alberta. A few years ago, I started attending Lynn McDowell's classes at the camp meeting, and I'm so thankful for the advice she gave us. It took me a while to think it over, but it gradually came to me, when we make a donation, we want to give smarter, so that there's more money to do good and less money for the tax man. So as those thoughts came to me, we were interested in divesting of some stock as a donation for the building of our church in Whitecourt. And I'll let my husband pick it up from there as to how that process goes. Don?
We found that it would be more beneficial to the church if we were to actually donate the stock rather than sell the stock and give them the money, because if we sold it, there would be tax implications for the value of the stock. So by giving the actual stock to the church, they got the full value. I didn't have to pay any tax on the value of the stock, and they got the whole works, which was kind of a win-win. We wanted to support the church with this donation and do it cost effectively, and it worked out very well, I think, for both parties. It worked very well. One thing I should mention, that once we decided to do it and had some discussions with Lynn, I went to my bank, and it definitely doesn't happen immediately. There's a process. You have to line things up, and I would say it took a month or two from when we requested the transfer for the church to actually get the stock in hand. The church handled it very well. They were very, very accommodating, and it's definitely a wise way to, if and it doesn't need to be stock, I guess. Any entity that gives you a capital gain, it's a cost-effective way to donate it, whether it's land or a summer cottage or various items. A very, very cost-effective way to make a donation. I guess my advice is, if you're in a financial position to be able to donate, make a smart donation. Don't wait around too long to do it. Do it while you're alive, where you get the pleasure of doing it, and do it in a cost-effective way so that it maximizes the money that the church will get, and saves you a few dollars from that the tax man would get otherwise.
Well, it's very thrilling to see a new family of God in Alberta. And I just wanted to mention that it was the article that Lynn wrote in one of the church papers that I was able to share with my husband that really clinched it as she was explaining about this method of making donations. So I really want to thank you too for your part in this, for helping us through the journey.